Well, hello. My name is Scott Picken. I'm the CEO and founder of WealthE Migrate, and I wanted to welcome you to the Digital Real Estate Mastermind. Now, why is this so important? Well, I want you to ask yourself a question. If I was to say to you that blockchain is going to have a bigger impact on your life in the next 20 years than the internet has in the past 20 years, what would you think of that? Don't you think that that's a pretty big statement, possibly even a little bit out there? Well, take yourself back to 1995 and imagine someone said the internet's coming and it's going to impact your life materially. And then fast forward yourself through to where we are now, 20 years later, and someone's telling you the blockchain is going to have a bigger impact on your life than the internet. Is that worth something that you need to know about? What about the other exponential technologies? What about cryptocurrencies? What about 3D printing? What about autonomous cars and drones and all the biological stuff that is going on? It is just incredible where exponential technologies are going. And the bottom line is they are changing all industries. You take things like AR and VR and artificial intelligence and big data. They are going to impact every single industry out there. And so you've got one choice. You can Uber yourself before you get Kodak'd, or you can keep building ox wagons and your time will come. Dr. Dolph DeRoos said whenever there's a disruption, there's three types of people. There's those who watch what happens, there's those who wonder what happened, and there are those who take advantage. It reminds me of a story in 1910. 4 out of the top 5 industries in America, so 4 out of the top 5 companies, in America came from one industry, the railroad industry, the transportation industry. And what was absolutely fascinating, in 1910, they could have bought Henry Ford for pennies on the pound, but they didn't. And the reason being is that they didn't see it as a threat. Fast forward to today, 80% of all transportation is done by trucks, and the only use that the railroads have nowadays is that the fiber optic cables buy them because they're the straightest line between cities. And quite frankly, the railroads have become redundant. They are the ox wagons of the 21st century. So what about real estate? It's a $217 trillion industry. It's one of the oldest and most archaic industries in the world, and it is ripe for disruption. It's got a very bad customer experience, it's expensive, and it's slow. The two most important things to look at when you're looking for an industry that is going to be disrupted by technology. And so the question is, which one of the three are you going to be? Are you going to wonder what happened? Are you going to watch what happened? Or are you going to get involved? From my perspective, I've spent my entire life in this space. I did my first programming course when I was 6 years old. I did my first property project when I was 13. I have 2 degrees, an honors and a master's, both cum laude, in how technology was going to change the property and construction industry. And I've spent the last 20 years of my career at the intersection between technology and property and the marriage of those two industries. The Digital Real Estate Mastermind has one objective, and that is to educate you. That is to enhance and give you the ability and the insight to understand the technology, to understand where things are going, to understand how it is going to impact the property industry, so that you can not only understand, but you can take advantage of this massive change that is taking place within the property industry. What will you get by being part of the Digital Real Estate Mastermind? Now, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of courses out there. There's plenty of masterminds out there in crypto, in blockchain, in property, etc. But there's not one on the planet where we bring it all together. And so in the Digital Real Estate Mastermind, you're going to get access to 6 global authorities. You're going to get access in the space of blockchain, in the space of cryptocurrency, in the space of exponential technology, in the space of future trends, in the space of the consumer of the future, and also in terms of global property or global real estate. And we're going to bring it all together, and we're going to be playing at the intersection point of that. And as part of the Digital Real Estate Mastermind, those 6 authorities every month will compress time for you. They'll look across their area of expertise, call it blockchain. They will find the best articles and research, and they will send you no more than a 5 to 8 minute video so that you can compress time and get the best knowledge globally in each area every month. And then once a month, I personally will interview one of those experts where we will go deeper into their area of expertise. Each and every time, going deep into the technology and bringing it back within the property real estate framework so that you can understand. We will also have a real estate blockchain library. We will have access to all the different resources and information that collectively as a mastermind we can find around the world. We will have closed blogs, Telegram groups, and Facebook groups. We will have a quarterly report on the latest information, the latest research, and also in the property market around the world, what is happening. We will have an annual conference where all us masterminders can come together. We can learn, grow, and have fun together and be inspired. And then lastly, we're going to have online groups where we're going to have incredible people from all over the world, and we can interact with each other around the world. And so just today, I was sent something by someone who's at A360. Now that's a course or a conference held in Los Angeles. It's run by this man, Peter Diamandis, Bold. Go and look him up, an incredible guy. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend that you read this book. And just today, he was interviewing someone on the securitization, or if you think cryptocurrency is a dirty word, the tokenization of real estate and how that is the future. That is how you're going to get liquidity, and it is the future. Now, what's interesting is they're not discussing if it's going to happen. It's merely a case of when it's going to happen. So if you're in the property industry, if you're in the real estate industry, whatever sector you're in, if you are touched or passionate by that industry, and if you're interested in how technology is going to disrupt that industry, then you can not afford not to be part of the Digital Real Estate Mastermind, because we're going to go on a journey. We're inviting you on that journey to learn, to grow, and to take advantage of this $217 trillion opportunity. The question I've got for you is, are you going to be part of the Digital Real Estate Mastermind? Are you going to be part of the future? Or are you going to remain one of those railroad companies or one of those Volkswagens? I suppose you get to choose. Welcome to the future. If you're part of the Digital Real Estate Mastermind, I welcome you on the journey. It's going to be super exciting. And if you're not, I race you to the future. Cheers.